Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Gowika. It's a Tier 7 Polish tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Mines, and this one is under the command of Bublus of OLIMP. Now this is a rather new tank destroyer because we haven't seen any replays for this one, so I'm rather interested to see how it comes out. Well, you can see here, he's armed with a 420 Alpha, and that means that looking at the stats, his caliber is 122 millimeters. So yes, he is a 122 millimeter armed tank destroyer. Now in many ways it looks like an Su-152, but with a 122 millimeter gun. Let's see how he holds up. Well, he's decided to go up the hill straight away, but with a 122 millimeter gun, and being that it's got a 10 degree arc either side of the center line, he's got limited tank gun depression, 7 degrees only. He does get hit, but he pumps around into the 45 TP, gets 487, and that's a low roll, but he did take a hit for 228. I suppose that's a fair exchange. He's now going to go to the hole and try and shoot through that, but he's limiting the size of the gap to make it more difficult for the enemy. Hits the tracks on the 45 TP, bounces the round in return. Nicely angled. He did get spotted, so his 6 cents went off. Goes for lower plate. Yes, easy penetration. 394 low roll. Pumps up again. 202 millimeters of penetration with standard rounds. He pumps one in, kills the 45 TP, but he's pulling back, watching his sides just to make sure that he can't be penetrated by anyone. You can see he's bounced a lot of rounds off the mantlet, but also a few other rounds. But he was over-angled there, and the Basotto managed to get around into him. I'm not sure where that one actually hit. Looking for the shot that went in. Okay, can't see it. Oh, no, I could see it. There we go. Right next door to the mantlet. And it was a standard AP round from the Basotto. Now, he's got a T-34-1 on the island who might be able to hit him. So he's decided to go over this side where he's got the rock to protect him. And he's going to use the 7 degrees to try and get shots on those guys. The Ju-2 takes a hit. He picks up 456. That's a high roll on this occasion. Still loading the standard AP. Of course, Bublus is a top player, so of course he doesn't need to use the premium rounds to make holes in the enemy. He can do it perfectly okay with AP. But he has loaded some premium rounds just in case he comes across something really difficult. Of course, members of OLIMP tend to be Arty players, but it is a top clan, and the players can play other vehicles. Bublus rather enjoys what he's doing. I can tell. And he's bouncing around, so they're coming from the enemy. Oh, and another one. That Ju-2 is really, really... Oh, it's the T-150 you got it this time. A high roll for 455. Can he get the next shot into the Churchill 7? Yes, and he wipes him out. Now, the standard reload, according to the book, is 11.51 seconds. He's got it down to 9.74, so he saved himself 2 seconds on the reload. Ju-2's still there. He doesn't want to go too far forward. Might get shot from the island again. If he does, well, he hasn't been shot from the island yet, but it's a possibility. There's a Challenger over there as well. The Ju-2 is just in that little hook, and he's trying to tempt us to shoot, and the shell ricochets off the armor. We've actually managed to find a helper, an IS. We obviously sees that he needs somebody to protect him, and somebody who's got a very big gun. Okay, we're pushing. Now this is dangerous. We cut across this gap, and we have been spotted again. Ow! Well, we took a round, but we pumped in for 259. The round we suffered was 257, so fair exchange. Arty. One round, that's all it takes. 360, that's a one shot. But now look at that Challenger. And that's what I was fearing. The Challenger managed to get a round in. Let's see the depth shot that actually killed him. You can see directly from the island. This is what I was fearing. And it actually went in just under the weak. It was in the weak spot. That is where the weak spot is on the Gowika. Just underneath the gun. If you raise the gun, there's a direct weak spot there. Okay. Bublus is cycling through the enemies, or his teammates rather, to find who's the best one to follow afterwards. And we've now accepted and are running with the Juno. Okay, good shot there. Took out the enemy Hummel, or rather he didn't take out the Hummel, the Hellcat did, but he got a good hit. Moving up. Only 5 enemies remaining. He's got spotted by the Basotto. Pumps one round into him, pulls and angles. We've still got 2 Arty on our team. Got a 2-tank advantage at the moment. There's the Hellcat, you see, the guy who killed the Hummel. And he's trying to get a shot on that Basotto. The Juno's the one spotting. The A43's moved up, but he's a bit uncertain as to where he should go now. In fact, I think he was looking around saying, why isn't the Juno moving up? Well, I think the Juno's moving up because not moving up because he doesn't want to get shot at from 2 directions. He pumps around in the direction of the P43 to try and stop him firing his 90mm in our direction, but the P43 does go down to the Hellcat, so the Hellcat's got another kill. I think the effort that Bublus made was definitely more than acceptable to actually help the team move up, because he did a lot of heavy lifting in the center of the map, and all the Juno's taken a big hit, and now we've got a Giro, which will one shot. He goes down. Oh, that was a self-deletion by the Basotto. A very, very silly thing to do, but he has actually got rid of 2 tank destroyers there. There's left 1 enemy left, the IKB-90B, and he's now surrounded, and that was the R team finishing him off. The Hummel R team got the kill. Here's the end of battle result, and that was the first ace tanker for Bublus of OLIMP in the Gowika. Very, very well played. He did do most, as I said, most of the heavy lifting. He was blasting holes in the enemy, and he was certainly scoring a lot of damage by doing that. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually got 4 exactly, as well as a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. A fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. And finally, he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And his win 8 from the game, 6,234, which is super Unicum standard and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, the highest damage was 2,941 hit points, beating the T-34-1, who managed to get 2,469 on the enemy team, their best player. And the third highest damage was the BZ-58 on our team with 2,187 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, yep, Bublus got that one too. 4 kills to him. 2 kills went to the Hellcat and the A43 on his own team. And on the enemy team, the Giro managed to get 2. So did the Challenger. And one of those kills on the Challenger was actually Bublus. I did worry about that Challenger being sitting there on the island because he had a perfect shot straight through the gap into anyone who moved up on the rock, and that's what Bublus did. I think he should have gone to the other side of the rock, to the left side, because he might have actually been in the protection of the other side of that gap, and that would have stopped the Challenger shooting him, but he would have been vulnerable to fire from the Juno's at the same time, or from the enemy tanks up on top of the platform, the tank destroyers. He would have received fire from the Basotto and the G2, or Giro rather. But the other ones with the IKV-19 managed to get 2 kills. So did the GW Panther on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's the only one to get over 1,000. He got 1,131. The next highest scorer being the BT58, who only got 897, followed by the G2 SP with 743. So he's got the top in all 3 columns on that one. He dominated the battle. He fired only 12 rounds, and virtually all of those were AP. In fact, I think they were all AP. He got 11 direct hits, so only 1 round actually went astray. 9 of them penetrated. 2,941 hit points of damage, of which 360 were at more than 300 meters. He received 12 hits from the enemy, but only 4 of them actually penetrated. 8 non-penetrations and 1 hit by way of splash damage. 1,800 hit points blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle was spotted, 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 48 hit points of damage assistance in the game. He earned 79,973 credits from the game. You can see his ammo cost was very low. I did get a 50,000 for mission completion during that one as well. And he took away 3,393 experience points as well. So a nice positive game in terms of credits and, of course, XP rather. But the main thing we learned is that in the hands of the right person, the Gowika can be very powerful, but you've got to watch out that the enemy doesn't get under your weak spots, because although it's got a fairly strong frontal armor, you can angle to actually make it slightly more difficult for them to actually get the shell through. But you've got to watch out for that little area directly underneath the gun on the Gowika, because it is a weak spot. In fact, we found that there is a point on that area where it is 0 armor. So in other words, there's no armor there. You can actually peek out, and in fact, the enemy can poke shells in to get through that 0 armor spot. And so, yes, in fact, that's exactly where the enemy aimed. He went straight for the weak spot, and he did get it. So, yes, it was unfortunate that the kill shot came from the Challenger. I thought that it might be somebody with a big gun. It turned out it was. There you go. Unfortunate, but couldn't be avoided. I knew that that guy was there, and I was hoping bublus was going to try and do something to avoid him, but unfortunately, it didn't work out okay. But it is a good win and a first ace tanker. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.